continuously. And this year by now I guess I'm the tro and the boom my no man say man phone be soon suan de it tro no no be call so Fosu Kwakye be can send do video we say President Mahama say S Gracia oye you know enkrofo center wo energy on a year DSTV but me tie no enye DSTV na hia me baby o can say President Mahama say onye S Gracia for the executive I'm say e dia tro no e dia akohwie no e dia na brabane vudu hwada sam no o suadie no ye be kan constitution na kire mo ni a rest President Mahama was said to me no betimi ayi bibia e dey ba no
so them
o man ya de mra na ebu mo twa manfo ne trosa ada President Mahama so che constitution na e dey na constitution na ka ye nya amendment na President Mahama ko no dey decide the S Gracia of executives na you be read the constitution we will see it's anya wo na we decide ya how then do you say executive ne dey me mo nyi S Gracia and manfo ne gidi obewie 4 years so no ma fa akira kwaje because we have to show you what the constitution says precisely. Now yentie Fosu Kwakye yentie no yentie Fosu Kwakye
does not have control over the legislature and the judiciary but the executive they cannot look forward to receiving S Gracia. There is a man who cuts the cost of independent celebration by 95% from over 20 million Ghana cedis to 1.5 million Ghana cedis. I can reveal to you that if you come to this house, there's no office in this house that is allowed to subscribe to DSTV or any satellite television. It is the same for.
Well, it's good. I know you watch Joy. Absolutely. So thank John Mahama for that. Like
absolutely.
You watch us.
So and you say that, but that is a trivial matter. But he has done that because when you computed the cost, it was significant money.
Consume local.
I have no difficulty consuming local. My appetite is local, so I actually watch.
So you mean his cut is even affecting what you watch?
Absolutely. You can tell on the television that you see here. You will find that I'm only limited to local television stations. Yes, but if you add it together. And it is something that will be extended to all government agencies to ensure that we don't waste the taxpayers' money. There are other cuts that will be announced going forward. So there is a man deeply committed to making savings for the Ghanaian because we know that governance necessarily involves taking tough decisions, some of which will imperative. Of course, it does not have control over the legislature and the judiciary. But the executive, they cannot look forward to receiving S Gracia.
Okay, so Jina ho. Ahani here me dani Jina ho. Or say President Mahama does not control the executive or the legislature, and executive in the they cannot be looking forward to receiving S Gracia. What is the position of the law? President Mahama need control over the executive when it comes to receiving S Gracia, because and you only decide it. Now you can read Article 71. You sure smart Article 71. S Gracia Article 71. You read Article 71. Ni entiasi. Say President Mahama was said to me say, "Obi a minister, or no ankasa, obetimi." Now already Article 71 clause 1 or say the salaries and allowances payable and facilities and privileges available to 1 the speaker and deputy speakers and members of parliament, the chief justice and other justices of the superior court of adjudicature, the auditor general, the chairman and the deputy chairman of electoral commission, the commissioner for Yonko they follow. So the commissioner and deputy of the district assembly common fund, the chairman, vice chairman, and other members of National Council of Higher Education, howsoever described, the Public Service Commission, the National Media Commission, the Lands Commission, and the National Commission for Education being expenditure charged on consolidated on consolidated fund. The National Commission, okay, so I was say shall be determined by the president on the recommendations of the committee of not more than 5 persons appointed by the president, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. So first of all, Ocean Krofona Dani Yanko back. Ocean Crofona president or boy say president never determine or more gracia na. There is nowhere or board ministers will one more executive will be out one more even president no. If say president in the determine executive no, which is the you can say ministers and one no a vice president and one no president no, and you want to determine a yani or more gracia. So first of all, fellows of Fosu Kwakye say President Mahama will control over the executive. Constitution and money control over the executive. Constitution is a president Mahama be determine a the parliamentary speaker, deputy speakers, members of parliament, the chief justice, the judicial the commissions, one more ministers if the constitution is making in such a way that so be a minister, or be a president, or be a vice president, it is parliament that would determine their emoluments and their ex gratia. It's read Article 71 to near Then in Famiko Article 71 to near So first of all, Article 71 says that the salaries and allowances payable and facilities available to the president, the vice president, the chairman and other members of the council of state, the ministers of state, deputy ministers, being expenditure charged on the consolidated fund shall be determined by parliament, not president. So if President Mahama does not have control over a ministers, they are determined. How then do you come and say, President Mahama say, how many ministers in receive yes gracia? Meanwhile, the president does not have control on a minister seniors gracia. What kind of lies is this? And trouble and amudibu my son. Fellows of Fosu Kwakye, President Mahama does not determine the salaries and emoluments of a year ministers, any deputy ministers, and the vice president and council of state. It is parliament that determines it. Exactly. What we trying to achieve them for? So President Mahama say, but they shouldn't look forward to a year as gracia, which is where you amended constitution. So this is a constitutional provision which cannot be said by President Mahama and no years gracia because the constitution makes provision for it. Now the entry and says, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. The parliament may decide a president here. In this case, baby, a president Mahama will control. It to me, so bet me as son. It's Obeka's own determine that of a year judiciary, parliament, any other. Now you so bet me. Does he have that power? Because so when you touch ministers, MPs, no, or more gracia, as Sababa, almost now, in 1979, sometime Professor George Bennett, one and a finance minister for Dr. Hilary Liman, or the Dr. Hilary Liman, or the budget called parliament. Emma, one cassa or one majority in parliament, almost to train. Edentia, if say on one cassa members of parliament, almost in one munisca, or Munyascani, what's this one? 79. What's this one? Only the members of parliament are disapproving the budget. There is a reason to mobile 1992. One more pay baby this because members of parliament 79 constitution Professor George Bennett a year liman a budget koye one one majority in parliament one one any MPs at budget no training. It is a President Mahama sorry. No case of Oma S. Gracia and Nkosua. I can bet you. So on one members of parliament to grow majority. What happened in 1979 will happen again. Precisely. Adamu Gaza Yankola. Egobi. Enti mom yanshia fellows of Fosu Kwakye will chat from money. Say President Mahama say the ministers they should not expect his gracia. Meanwhile, President Mahama is not the one that will determine the ministers and the deputy ministers and the council of state. He doesn't determine their gracia. It is parliament. So dear to me, when constitution has not given you power, you cannot assume that power by force. So the constitution has not given President Mahama power to determine the ex gracia of the ministers and deputy ministers. And for that matter, he cannot say something from Momo. He doesn't have that power in his hands. You also be able to use the same energy to pass your exam. I'm telling you. President S. Gracia, President Mahama and make us over my ministers. Unless you amend this provision, say you amend it. And when you amend it, it does not take retrospective effect. It is here where you amend the constitution. Unless you said the next government you be forming and they be falling on because our ministers will and the deputy ministers they came on the back of this constitution, and this constitution has made provisions for that. So you cannot come and lie to the people. Although you never say S. Gracia free. And don't come and be lying to the people. Oh, chat to watch the manfo. Na manfo no kwache. Manfo na dwene ni mo hanti. Manfo na dwene ni mo hanti. Omoji bibi adi. Yes, Sam George di aye wo omoji adi. Sam George abetwa omo tro se wiem. No omoji adi e. Na ye be kire mo amu ahunu. Mo adwene ni mo tia. Na bibi ada adamo. Na mo nteni ma bebira ase. Obi. You don't even understand what is going on.
Precisely.
Say President Mama say. Esgracia ne die. Ye ntua. Me wa esgracia no. Enya wona determine. How do you say that enya wona determine? Osimi ntua. Parliament dey determine. And a parliament a constitutional provision. Parliament mean trans a constitution say menye. Na so menye. Oni say to me no. And the more we via there in such a way say e kwa to judiciary ni so munye bidi. Eti ade o de koto court ko judiciary ni so be gba to ogu. Because judiciary need to depend. Eti mummy ansa nyina executive no. Ana mo anga se mo twa mo ho a mo wi amanfo no. E wo mo sia se mo nyim firi odie. Ba mo nka no kora nkyere amanfo no. Say until there is amendment of the constitution. As gracia na ntimi firi won ne. Ntimi firi o chena. Don't come and lie to the people. Some do ayi fellows of Fosu Kwakye. Menim se wono so wansua dia. Wasua wonim na bonenti. Kwakye, go and read Article 71:1 and Article 71:2, and you will know. So we can't touch them on fire. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.